Something is pulling the assassins into Tyre, and after everything we've seen from the Assassin's Creed collaboration, I don't think the biggest question is who the assassins are fighting. I think the bigger question is who brought them here in the first place. We've now seen Kassandra traveling through portals, we've seen Ezio doing the same, we've seen ancient Egypt, we've seen the World Tree, we've seen Asgard, ancient Greece, and eventually they both arrive in the same place, the Mordeus desert. And then in the latest commercial, Kassandra gives us one very important line. And to those beyond, pulling the strings, and immediately after that, Anubis rises from the desert. So today we're going to connect everything we've seen so far and try to answer one question. Who or what is actually behind the echoes of the Creed? What's up guys, this is Creios with another Watcher of Realms video. Welcome back to the channel. Let's start with the most obvious piece of information we've been given. Kassandra tells us our worlds are connected. This isn't speculation. That's straight from the collaboration commercial, and visually the entire event revolves around these strange rifts. They look almost like shattered glass or a broken mirror appearing in the sky. Kassandra uses the spear of Leonidas to interact with them. Ezio travels through several of them, and we're repeatedly taken from one Assassin's Creed setting to another. But here's where things get interesting. These aren't just random locations. They are worlds connected to our three main assassins. Bayek gives us Egypt, Eivor gives us the Norse world, and Kassandra gives us ancient Greece. And the event has now officially confirmed 3 chapters: Land of the Ancients, Land of the Gods, and Cradle of Wisdom, aka Egypt, Norse world, and ancient Greece. So far everything fits together perfectly, but then we have a problem. Because these bosses aren't random either. Chapter 1 gives us Anubis, Chapter 2 gives us Surtr, and Chapter 3 gives us Hades. And these aren't original Watcher of Realms creations designed for this collaboration. They are characters that already exist within Assassin's Creed universe. Anubis is the enemy from the trial of Anubis in Assassin's Creed Origins. Surtr is the massive enemy from Assassin's Creed Valhalla in the Dawn of the Ragnarok DLC, and Hades is a DLC character as well from the Torment of Hades in the Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So think about what Moonton has actually done here. They didn't simply say, let's make another Egyptian boss, a Norse boss, and a Greek boss. They took 3 existing Assassin's Creed enemies and put them into one single story in Tyre. And that raises the real question. Why? Why are the enemies from 3 completely different Assassin's Creed stories suddenly appearing into the same event? And we're looking at this from a story perspective. We're not looking at this from a license perspective, because it's very easy to say they got these 3 characters because this is what Ubisoft licensed from Moonton to use. It goes the same way for the assassins. This is where Ezio and Kassandra's showcase videos become really interesting. Let's start with Ezio. Ezio begins in what appears to be Florence, and I don't necessarily think Florence is some secret 4th realm in the event. It's simply Ezio's home, it's where his story begins. The sky fractures, a portal opens, and he takes his leap of faith, except instead of landing in a haystack, he falls through one portal after another, and suddenly we see a pyramid, then we see the World Tree, then we see ancient Athens, and finally, as he goes through the last portal, he lands on the probably iconic Sentinel statue in the Mordeus desert. And that's an important part. Ezio doesn't just randomly appear somewhere in Tyre. He goes through a chain of worlds before arriving at the commander's territory. And Kassandra does something remarkably similar. She starts in Athens, the portal opens, she crosses through, we see the pyramid, we see the Bifrost and what looks to be Asgard in the background. Then eventually, through the last portal, she arrives in the same Mordeus desert, and standing there is Ezio. Now, I know we could look at this and immediately start asking why Mordeus, but honestly, I don't think Mordeus itself is in particular mysterious. This is Watcher of Realms. The commander's camp is in the Mordeus desert. The Watchguard operate in the Mordeus desert. Heroes looking for help in Tyre come to the commander. It's essentially the player's territory. So if you're bringing 4 Assassin's Creed heroes into the world of Watcher of Realms, where else would they go? They are going to the commander, they're going to the Watchguard, they are going to the place where the player can actually interact with them. So I'm not going to build a massive theory around why Mordeus Desert, although its history is really rich. The more interesting question is, why are they being sent there at all? And this brings us back to Kassandra's commercial. After the assassins arrive in Tyre, they encounter the demon soldiers. Kassandra says, "To those who try and claw into my world, I will erase you." Then Ezio begins taking them down. And then Kassandra says, "And to those beyond, pulling the strings," and that's when we see Anubis. Now, does this mean Anubis is the mastermind? Not necessarily. The editing deliberately associates Anubis with the line, I think just because the visuals are very imposing, but we've got no confirmation that Anubis himself is responsible for the entire event. He could be, or he could simply be the first major threat the assassins encounter, because there is something else we need to remember. Watcher of Realms has a history here. When something goes seriously wrong in Tyre, there are usually familiar suspects. The Chaos Dominion, the Nightmare Council. We've seen these factions involved in major conflicts, in manipulation and in corruption before. And that's why they are the first place I'd look into. If something has created a connection between different worlds, if something is dragging powerful beings from other realms into Tyre, and if somebody is manipulating what's happening behind the scenes, then the Chaos Dominion or the Nightmare Council would be very obvious suspects. But there are other possibilities as well. The Infernals, the Cursed Cult, Ezareth, or potentially something completely new. And that's what makes this so interesting. This is why I think the 3 bosses become particularly interesting. The 3 stories are completely separated within Assassin's Creed, but Watcher of Realms is now bringing them together. So maybe the event isn't about bringing 3 mythologies into Tyre, maybe it's about bringing 3 echoes of Assassin's Creed into Tyre. And that's a very different thing. If we look at the name again, Echoes of the Creed, and we've covered this before, and we look at what the characters are doing, they are moving through fractured versions of different worlds. They're traveling through portals, they are passing through Egypt, through the Norse world, through Greece, and eventually they arrive in Tyre. That makes the word Echoes incredibly interesting. Assassin's Creed itself is built around memories. The Animus allows people to experience the memories of their ancestors. The series constantly plays with the idea of reliving the past. So what if the event isn't literally transporting entire mythological realms into Tyre? What if these are echoes of those worlds? Fragments, memories, imprints, pieces of realities connected through the portals or the rifts. Now, I'm not saying that's confirmed, but there's a reason I'm bringing this up, because Watcher of Realms has already used a similar storytelling device. During the Dracula event, we weren't simply traveling to a completely separate physical world. We experience the story and Transylvania through Vlad Draculia's mind. So Moonton has already shown that its events can play with reality, memory and perception, which makes Echoes of the Creed a very appropriate name for this kind of story. This is where the theory gets even more complicated, because these aren't just memories sitting inside someone's head. Kassandra and Ezio are physically fighting Taia's demon soldiers. They are interacting with the Watcher of Realms characters. They are standing in Mordeus. So something clearly crosses the boundary between these worlds. The question becomes, what created the connection? And that's the part we don't know yet. Maybe someone in Taia opened it, maybe someone from another realm opened it. Maybe the rift is a natural phenomenon, or maybe someone is deliberately using the connection. And that brings us straight back to the line, those beyond pulling the strings. And this also gives us a better understanding of Ezio. He's the first character shown traveling through multiple realms. He's moving from his home in Italy, through Egypt, past the World Tree, through Greece, and eventually into Taia. So Ezio feels like the connective tissue between the three chapters, but equally so does Kassandra. From what we've seen in the videos, she also plays a major role alongside Ezio. And if you take a closer look at the story, it does have three chapters. Bayek has Egypt, Eivor has the Norse world, Kassandra has Greece. And then we have one final piece that we still don't know much about. Evie Fry and Ezio della Notte. We've now seen them both in the collaboration preview, but we don't have a dedicated mythology chapter for either of them, as we don't have one for normal Ezio. Honestly, I think that's fine. They don't necessarily need one. The event already feels massive, and it already has three protagonists representing three different worlds with three different bosses. Ezio should pretty much be the connecting figure, with Kassandra assisting. Evie can simply represent the Brotherhood. She could get a larger role later, particularly if Ezio della Notte becomes part of another stage. Then that's when Florence, Ezio's home, could potentially become relevant as well. But until we get some more information, I'm not going to invent a Florence storyline that doesn't exist. However, I am not dismissing the idea. Moonton has recreated every environment connected to each character, including Ezio's, so it would make perfect sense to get one final chapter where we travel to Italy, we take on Ezio della Notte, and Evie gives us a helping hand. That would be total storytelling in my opinion, and a fitting way to end this collaboration story. So let's put everything together. We have mysterious portals, multiple worlds are connected. Ezio and Kassandra travel through these fractures. We see Egypt, we see the World Tree, we see Asgard, we see Greece, we see Ezio's home in Italy. They eventually reach Taia. They encounter Taia's demon soldiers. Kassandra talks about those beyond pulling the strings. And then we're eventually going to face three legendary enemies in Anubis, Surtr, Hades, in a three-chapter story, and one world connecting all of them. So here's where I currently stand. I don't think the story is simply Assassin's Creed characters arrive in Taia and fight three bosses. Something has connected these worlds. The assassins are being pulled through the fractures. The three mythological realms are appearing as echoes of their original stories, and something on the other side is exploiting or perhaps causing the connection. My first suspects, Chaos Dominion or Nightmare Council, those are the factions I'd expect to be pulling the strings in a traditional Watcher of Realms event. But I'm not ruling out the Infernals or the Cursed Cult or something we've never seen before. There's one final possibility I think we should keep open as well. On top of all that, the mystery around Ezio della Notte and Evie, plus the recreation of Ezio's Italian environment, point towards one final showdown in a final chapter, which is most likely going to conclude this epic collaboration. And that's what makes Echoes of the Creed so interesting to me. For weeks we've been asking which assassins are coming, which bosses are we getting, what mythology is going to appear next, but now I think we're asking the wrong question. The real question is, who opened the door for all these characters to come into the world of Taya? Because once you connect all the portals, which in turn connect all the worlds, there's clearly a bigger story hiding underneath this collaboration, and I can't wait to see the full picture. Now I want to hear your theories. Who do you think is behind all of this? Let me know in the comment sections below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more Watcher of Realms lore. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.